Wiped the cam on the 302. Super inconvenient. However, what's worse is I now need to deal with this giant mess of parts. A bunch of these were supposed to be going back on the car. Can't do that right now because that motor's got to come out. Got to clear out some space in here, dig out this 5.0, 90 Mustang or 89 or something, I don't remember. 5.0. I got a crane cam that I was going to run in this motor, but now looking at it and timeline wise, since we're mid-September, don't have all that much time. I still haven't drove this car since they are, well, there's a ton of stuff missing. But I think I'm going to dig this out, start doing the teardown on this. I'll probably pull the pan, just give it a quick look on the bottom, swap over the accessories from the 302 in the Falcon currently, and pretty much go take this 302, run that carb'd manifold setup, get that ready to drop in with the roller cam. It shouldn't really matter if I pull the pan. I gotta swap the pan anyway. This one's set up for a Mustang. I need the front sump that's currently on the car in the Falcon. So basically, break down two motors, flip-flop them, match them up, make it work, drop motor and trans back in, and then we will be able to pretty much run that 5.0. I think what I'm going to do is leave that one stock for now. That just will let me get it back and forth to and from the shop a little bit easier, get some of the rest of the fab stuff done just as a runner driver, and then if I need to yank the motor out again before winter, then I'll hot rod that motor a little bit later on. Still not positive. Either way, I got to clear some space in the garage, get this motor out, disassemble that at least down to a block. I'll probably leave the heads on and just essentially run a junkyard swapped 5.0 for now is the tentative plan. So let me clear some space and then turn this back on when we start rolling on tearing that motor apart. All right, so 5.0 front dress, I'm going to yank that off. Tried pulling the distributor. It's pretty stuck in there, so we're going to have to deal with that in a little while. But essentially, start breaking down a ton of the stuff. I'm going to pull the exhaust manifolds and things like that off first. Then we'll come around to the front, then flip it over, pull the oil pan. Good start. Great start.
Artlist.io.
Alright, so tried breaking off the exhaust manifolds. This usually goes pretty quick. This is actually the first one of like 5 or 6 of these that I've had that broke 3 studs. So not that big of a deal. Realistically, I don't know if I'm actually going to be using these heads. I was planning on just dropping this motor in. And we'll see if I can get lucky and 3 of these studs actually come loose. That'd be cool. But if not, then I'll just switch them out because I got a bunch of heads, and switching heads seems easier than trying to drill and retap 3, potentially 4. Probably just E7s or something on here anyway. I know for sure I have probably 2 or 3 sets of these. We'll see. If I can get these out, then I'll try and use them on the block. If not, I'm going to pull the heads off. The other thing is, the heads that are in the motor on the 302 have real stiff valve springs for the cam. If I run this crane cam, when I pull everything off, I still haven't made a final decision yet, but if I do run that cam, I will 100% need stiffer springs. I already have them in there. If I want to swap the head gaskets, I think I got a couple hanging up on the wall. So we'll go from there. Let me flip this around.
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
Oh, the exhaust manifolds absolutely sucked on this. Had to cut off the head on this one because that's pretty stuck in there and the bolt was stripped out and rounded. One broken one here, so I got two on this side, three on the other side, which is kind of a pain in the ass. So looks like I will probably be pulling the heads off of this unless I can get these to come out easily. I'm not overly optimistic on that, but if I can get a torch on there and see if I can break them free, then I'll try and leave this together. If it doesn't work and gets frustrating, then the heads will just come off and I will throw on another set of E7s that I have that are actually probably cleaner than this because this doesn't look all that great. Plugs are all out, so I'll pull the other valve cover real quick, then rotate the motor over a couple times before I start taking off all the timing stuff. Pretty much the same. Everything's just dirty, 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 dirty. Don't know how long this motor's been out or how long it's been sitting, so. Well, motor turns over pretty easy. Seems like it's got compression. Guy I got this from said he did a compression test. Whoever really knows. Don't have a starter or anything hooked up to turn it over fast enough to run one. I'm also trying to avoid spending a ton of money on doing a full rebuild on this for now. Like I said, I'm really just running out of time. I don't know what parts are available in terms of rods, mains. I don't know what's on the inside. Looks pretty factory, but we'll find out. We'll start taking off this timing cover.
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
Well, there we have it. Quick little front dress. I know it was a little goofy. I don't know if you guys can see it in the video, but one of the bolts on the oil pan actually broke right here. a small one. I don't know if somebody over torqued it and it was just kind of hanging on there. 3/8 bolts on this style pan. Open that up and immediately the head just sheared off. So ended up having to pry the timing cover up a little bit. I'm not reusing any of the stuff that was on here, so that doesn't really matter all that much to me. Otherwise, I wouldn't be gorillaing things apart nearly as much. I probably would have taken more time on the exhaust manifolds. But I've never had them that stuck or never had any break on the 302s. Not saying that it's uncommon. I kind of expected it every time, but in the past, I've been really lucky. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 broken studs in these heads if I do want to leave it all together. Now we're ready to just drain the oil pan, flip it over. I will pull the pan just because I'm already going to have to replace the gasket and everything when I switch the oil pans anyway. It'll give me a little bit better of an idea on this. I might try and clean up some stuff on the block too, just to see what we're actually working with. But other than that, she's pretty much torn down and ready to start swapping parts back on. Onto the oil pan.
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
Well, she's dirty, but she's off. I gotta swap this pickup out because I need the screen for the other one. Internally, just first glance, doesn't look too terrible. We'll see. I don't know what I'm going to do. I got to think on this one for a little bit. I got to run to the shop, deliver some furniture for work. And I think we're heading up to Milwaukee today, but this will be in the back of my mind, trying to figure out how far I want to go. I know at this juncture it's not too bad to pull the mains and the rod bearings, but now that, again, I don't know what parts availability is. I don't really want to be backlogged. I might just throw this in, reseal it, clean it up, throw it in, send it, and see what comes from that. We'll investigate further later. Well, got the 5.0 torn down. Should be pretty close. Got to switch out a bunch of components from the one in the Falcon. Let's take a look here. Came out here, it's Sunday. I thought it was supposed to rain. It's not, so started ripping this thing apart. Got the exhaust manifolds off, disconnected all the wiring, fuel lines, oil lines, all the crap that I hooked up to make it run. Now, getting pretty much about ready to yank the motor out. The cross member is still bolted in, so I got to climb underneath the car and do that. Disconnect the cross member and the shift cable. Once I get those out, this motor should be about ready to pull. Not sure if I'm going to do a full video. That might just be a completely separate video, but 5.0 is torn down. Get to flip-flop pretty much everything over from this motor onto that one, but in order to do that, I need this out of the car. So that's where we're at right now. Hopefully I can get this out today and start noodling around, figure out exactly what I want to do, but if not, then this will be the last one before the next video, which will be yanking this motor out of the car. Like, comment, subscribe, all those fun things as I disassemble this motor again. Have a good one.